Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Shantia here. Welcome back to this series, Heal, Feel, and Reveal. Today we're going to talk about transforming. If you're feeling stuck and stagnant and you're doubting yourself in life, how do we get over those humps? And I think most of my life has been trying to figure out how do I get over that hump. I've had periods of depression, stagnancy, no progress, and I've had to really figure out and put in the work to get to where I'm at now. So if you are new to this channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and also make sure you comment down below, participate in the discussions. I always read all the comments and I love it when people participate. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this lesson number, just gonna put it up there. How do we transform? Are you feeling stuck? Are you feeling stagnant in life? Do you want to become a butterfly? Then you have to do the work. And today we're gonna talk about how does one do that work to transform? So I know if you're watching this video, obviously the place that you feel you're at in life, it does not feel the most satisfying to you. And you want to find a place where you can feel so much more satisfied or fulfilled or enriched in life. And that's what we're going to try to help to figure out. How do you level up? How do you upgrade? Because this is something I've been trying to figure out. I had years of issues of like being stuck and just not feeling like I was becoming the woman I really want to be. How do you become the woman you want to be? Now let's start out with these questions. Who do you want to be? Write it down, write everything that comes up when you think about who do you want to be. Question number 2, what's stopping you? Write it down. Now I'm going to come at you with this. What's stopping you? Nothing's stopping you. There's nothing in your way. The only thing that's stopping you is you. You haven't decided. You have not decided on what you deserve. Whoever you want to be, she already lives in you. Your job is to figure out how to feed her. So whoever you want to be, you need to feed her so her wings can grow. Now, I think a lot of people have issues being able to transform, really become what they want, because they're so stuck on holding on to their past self or their past issues, their past conflict. The past is always the past. Life is always moving forward. You're always in the present. Whatever happened to you in the past is staying in the past. You always have the opportunity to transform. And this is my favorite thing about life, is learning and growth. We never stay stuck. So you might be feeling stuck or stagnant, but we're not stuck or stagnant creatures. Just think about the animals that live out in on the earth, in the woods. They're constantly moving, transforming. You know, they go from being a little baby to a grown person, finding the love of their life, having a family. They migrate all over the place. They move, they transform, they pass away. They don't stay stuck and stagnant in one place. They live. They are aligned with the universe. And that's why I always say my channel is dedicated to helping women live it in the way that feels the most natural to them. And this series is about doing that inner work and outer work to help align you with how to do that. We are not meant to be stuck. We are not meant to be stagnant. Thus, anxiety, thus depression. The way that I would describe depression in my experience is that depression is about this energy of pulling things down, right? It's being like stuck, stagnant. It's like pulling things down. When your body wants to move, it's naturally made to move. So when you hold yourself in one place and you just stay there, and you don't move your body, don't use it, you don't activate it, you don't, not necessarily exercise, but you don't, get some kind of energy moving through it, you're gonna have issues. You can feel it in your body, you can see it in your body, and you can hear it in your thoughts. Anxiety is this anxiousness of having a lot of pent-up energy and wanting to move, but still not allowing yourself to move. So that's the issue with both depression and anxiety. They're both about needing to move and get up and shift things, but staying stuck. This is kind of the issue, is that people get caught up in their thoughts and their ideals and their ideas about, oh, I'm so unhappy, and that it's because you're not meant to stay where you're at. You're meant to move. So I used to have a lot of issues when I was at jobs that were not fulfilling to me. I would stay at them for years and I'd be like, gosh, I really hope that something changes. You're the initiator. You're the one who lights it up. You're the one who gets things going. So unless you decide things are going to change for you, nothing can change. You're the one who has to get up and shift things and move things. You have to quit that job, or you need to find the next job so you can quit your current job and live that life that you're really wanting to live. Let's go ahead and get into talking about the ways in which that we can go about transforming. Now, I love the way of talking about it as if it's a butterfly. The thing about the butterfly, humans are a lot more magical because we constantly go through transformation, whereas butterfly or whatever, the caterpillar, it goes through its stages, caterpillar to cocoon to butterfly, and then it passes away. Whereas humans, we have multiple transformative periods in our lives where it's going like this and this and this. And that's what makes life so beautiful. We never end. We never stop transforming. So you're going to hit moments in life that are going to be stagnant or where you do feel stuck because something is needing to grow, shift, and change. You're needing to evolve even further. So I guess we can think of ourselves as Pokemons. Like, I don't remember Pokemon. It's been a long time, girl. It's been a long time since I knew Pokemon. But Pokemons, they would evolve like 2 or 3 levels. So we're the same thing, except ours doesn't end. It doesn't end, it keeps going. So I want to talk about this concept first, patience. Now, I think a lot of people, they struggle with their need or their desire to transform into that better version of themselves because they're feeling impatient. They're feeling like it's going to take a long time. Patience is a tricky concept. Yes, life does require patience. But to me, if you're really present in life, you're not going to have to be patient. So you need to immerse yourself in your passion projects, in things that give you joy, in things that you're obsessed with, that you love learning and understanding more about. You need to immerse yourself in the presence of your relationships. There are so many things where you can immerse yourself in being more present with. And because I'm such a mental person and I'm a solitary person and I'm a hermit, I would struggle with this concept of understanding that I had to put that energy elsewhere. I have to put that energy not just into my thoughts and my ideas and my creative projects, but I have to do that everywhere. Like my job, even if it's just a temporary job until I really develop that career, my job or my personal connections or my family connections. When I started developing those more, I started seeing that I felt so much more present in my life. So if you're putting forth that energy into being present with your day-to-day experience as you're prepping in the cocoon, as you're finding a way to transform into that next stage, that next level, then you're never having to wait for it. It's just going to happen. And one day you're just going to wake up and you are it. So what I would recommend, we're going to talk about self-doubts and fears and limiting beliefs shortly. But what I would recommend you to do is watch my lesson number 3 about limiting beliefs, watch my lesson about processing negative emotions and about processing your subconscious fears. Those lessons are what are going to help you understand how do we get over this self-doubt and fear of things becoming more. I want you to be very clear about who you want to be. The first thing I'm going to tell you to do is you need to become the ultimate sponge. If you want to transform, level up, upgrade, evolve, then you have to become a sponge. You have to be very intentional about what you surround yourself with, the music you listen to, the people you hang out with, the work environment, the books. Surround yourself intentionally around the things which you want to become. And this is like energetically a very powerful thing to do. I find that at times I'll want something, and if I just surround myself with the energy of it. So I won't necessarily dive into books, but I will buy or borrow the books and I'll put them on my desk or put them on my shelf. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll pick them up and I'll just flip through a couple of pages and be like, okay, this is how I read self-help books. I know it's really weird, but that's how I read self-help books. I'll just flip through them. I don't read it from cover to cover. Or I'll listen to the music or I'll listen to a podcast. Just kind of absorb bits and bits of the information because I never believe that I have to read a book cover to cover necessarily unless I'm really invested in it. I find that I have read books cover to cover and I don't remember everything that's in there. In fact, I hardly remember a thing. So I read things that resonate with me. So find things that resonate with you and just absorb that. Journal about it, write about it, and just surround yourself with that energy. What you'll find yourself doing is, what's crazy is we are sponges. So subconsciously, you're training yourself to become that thing, that person you've always wanted to be. Allow yourself to imagine your version of their lifestyle, or you living their lifestyle, of you having that thing or having that experience. What would that feel like? Use your imagination. Absorb all that information, surround yourself energetically with the things and the experiences of it, and you'll subconsciously start to embed it in there. And at some point, you'll start to transform. Yes, transformation is intentional. It's a step-by-step process. But if you surround yourself with it, you'll find yourself absorbing material almost innately. Because especially as women, one of our powers is that we do absorb a lot of magical creative energy around us. So even without us having to train ourselves to understand something thoroughly, like men are about all the facts and all the details, step 1 through a million. Women, we don't have to do that. We can skip steps. And it's one of our magical abilities to do that because we're naturally very empathic. We can absorb energy and pick up energies of the thing and become it. Let's go back into the feeding her. The thing that you want to become, the person you want to become, the person you desire to be. You have to feed her. You have to feed her so her wings can grow. Often, what stops us from being able to transform is we don't feed that. We feed the doubt, the fears, the insecurities. That's why I'm saying watch my limiting beliefs video. It's not about digesting or analyzing your fears, your angers, and your trauma. I don't believe you have to do that to overcome them. You just want to acknowledge them. And perhaps even send it some love, which is kind of a concept to me. I think I do naturally without realizing it because I'm very much a type of person, I'm so involved and so in tune with my shadow self. I always knew I had like that dark, it's like the dark shadowy side. But I kind of liked it and I wanted to get to know it. And I was never that type of person where I'm like, I'm going to be a positive, happy person all the time. So that shadow part of yourself, the one that has all of those like shadowy, darker, shady emotions, I like her too. But it's not that she's not what I use. She's like a specific kind of energy. The shadow self is, to me, actually very powerful. And the shadow self is something I'm very attuned with. So that's going to have to be a lesson for another day. But we're talking about any kind of fears, thoughts of fears or insecurities or doubts. You don't feed that. Do not feed that. You know, when you say, oh, well, I have insecurities that come up all the time, but then I'm like, nope, gotta feed this. Gotta feed the love, gotta feed the part of me that believes I can do anything. I remember years ago, I think this is like 6 years, no, it's more than that. It was like 7 years ago. I think I said this to a coworker and I was just like, I wanna do the thing that makes me feel like Beyonce. Like, I want to do the thing that makes me feel like I'm a star, I'm the best, like, I got this. This is my thing. This is my special thing. And for me, that was art and creativity. And now it's becoming communication. It's like one of those things. It's like, when I'm up there doing that, like, I just feel like Beyonce. I'm like, I'm unstoppable. No one can touch me. It feels very powerful. But you have to feed her. If you don't feed her, it will shrink your connection to your authentic power. So the way you feed her is you do the things that you love. You luxuriate in it. The things that you enjoy, you're obsessed with. I already brought it up. You drop into those experiences. Now, I will just like be very honest and admit this. I get a lot of joy out of my job. It's not my passion. And it's not what I see myself doing for the rest of my life. Absolutely not. It's temporary. It's what I do temporarily. And it feeds into other things. But I feed my hobbies like this. I feed other things, other passions that I do. Those feed me. Those fulfill me so that I have the energy to bring back into my connections and into my job. So you have to feed the thing that gives you the most joy and it makes you feel powerful and in tune. But it really hinders your ability to touch your power if you don't do that. So anything that makes you feel really good, very positive, very powerful, that is the thing you need to continue to feed. The next thing I'm going to talk about is restless energy. So I was talking about depression and anxiety. Those are both restless energy that needs to be put to use. We're not meant to sit stagnant or stuck. We're meant to move, which means that most likely I'm willing to bet that you're in those states or you're feeling that state of stagnancy because you have this need to shift and move. So you might have a new idea or a new desire or a new level you're wanting to reach or a new thing you're wanting to learn. You have to start doing it. I have a lot of restless energy, and this is why I was having a conversation with some colleagues of mine, and I was talking about how renewal for me is about tapping into my passion projects and putting my ideas out there. Because I have a lot of restless energy, if I don't get my ideas out, I'm literally just stuck there staring at the wall, like feeling like something is unresolved. Start working on your projects and just keep pushing them and pushing them and pushing them, and just find something that clicks. Find something that's working for you. Find something that's moving, because we're meant to move. Say yes to the call. Say yes to that desire that was put in your heart by God. Sometimes what I've heard people say is that desires aren't necessarily good because they make us selfish. But there's a reason why a desire was put into your heart. Now, obviously, if it caused people hurt and pain, you might want to reassess that desire. But for the most part, I think we are all meant to follow our desires. When we don't, it really hinders our ability to open up and open our hearts and open up our energy. If you have a desire, follow that. Listen to that call. If you don't listen to that call, following that passion, that desire, that bliss, that curiosity is the path of least resistance. When you don't follow it, you go the path of resistance. That's why when you continuously take on jobs that are very unfulfilling for you, your life is a struggle. And this series is about helping people to create a struggle-free life. So your life will continue to be a struggle until you listen to those calls, because those calls are the path of least resistance. Now, I might do a video also about helping to align yourself with your money goals, because I know that is a legitimate fear that people have. It's legitimate, but it's also not legitimate. And we'll get into that later. But money is like one of those fears that people have all the time. Am I going to have enough money? Now, if you watch my abundance video, open yourself to all abundance is available all the time. You'll understand that it's not really about money. You want to link into the energy of availability of resources. There are times where people might come up to you, they'll pay for your drink, your food, or they'll offer you something, a free car. It's happened to me, kind of. Like a free car, like people will just offer you things when you make yourself available to receive it. Watch that video if you are struggling with that concept of understanding money and how to not worry about it coming into your life. My manifesting your dreams and your desires video is also going to be great for you to do that too, because every time you might feel that fear, which is absolutely legitimate, sometimes those fears come back up because they're subconsciously in there and they're not just gone. So you have to find a way to like just continue to alleviate yourself of that stress, of that fear of not having. All right, so I wanted to go ahead and talk about my experience and what I've learned in transforming and getting ready to transform. Let's go ahead and summarize, like, what are the concepts? Now, you need to ask yourself the question, who do you want to be? Truly, who do you want to be? What's stopping you? Take a moment to acknowledge that nothing is stopping you, it's just you. Acknowledge patience. Patience is just you not being present. It's you not being present. Magic is happening around us all the time, and we miss it all the time because we're so caught up in ideas and concepts of what we're wanting and desiring. And believe me, I understand. I'm a dreamer. I'm a big dreamer. Well, other than God, no one could possibly dream as big as me, as I've dreamt for myself. Feed her, the her in you that is like, yes, this is who I want to be. This is my Beyonce moment. Feed her. Not the self-doubt, not the fears, and put that restless energy to use. Why are you feeling stuck? Why are you feeling stagnant? It's because there's a need to want to do something different. Maybe doing the same thing that you've been doing every day is not going to work for you today. Today you need something different, a different kind of experience. We are in charge of our own lives. So light it up, light your life up, bring in some more vibrancy and color into your life. Take that risk of signing up for that class or that course or the thing that you've always desired to do, whatever makes you feel good. Put forth that effort into doing it. Now, this wasn't in my notes, but the other thing I would like to add is appearance. So let's kind of talk about appearance. Now, I've heard this time and time again, and I would have to agree to some extent. When you look good, you feel good. And also when you feel good, you look good. The reason why I've been putting forth more effort into, and I'll show the differences in my images. The reason why I put more effort into the way I look is because this is the way I've always wanted to look. I've always wanted to look like, not necessarily that I have it all together, but I've always wanted to look like my best self, like nail polish. I paint my nails because they make me happy. I love seeing color. I love my hair. I love a little bit of jewelry. I love color. I love sparkle. I love light. You have to surround yourself with these things in order to elevate. So continue to collect those things that like really make you feel good. The clothing, if it's on you and you look in the mirror, it makes a difference if you put forth a little effort. And perhaps maybe you have to put a little bit more time. So schedule the time into your routine to have the energy to put forth that extra effort. I know when I put forth a little bit more effort, it just makes me feel a lot more together and with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just share a short testimony. So the other day I was having a conversation with a colleague and they were like, you know what, you get shit done. And I was just like, do you know why? In my head I was thinking this. The reason why I get shit done is because I lived a long period of not getting shit done. not being inspired, not moving forward, not doing the things that I want to do. That's what gave me the courage to do this series and really take off with all of my dreams. I can't live that way anymore. It felt very sad to me. And then I realized as I took steps closer and closer towards my dreams and goals, nothing was stopping me. And there was nothing to be afraid of. You know, those restless thoughts that come up, oh my gosh, I should be doing this, I should be doing. You need to be doing it now. Take action now. Those thoughts are coming up because you need to take action now. That's your vitality. Your vitality is your life, your goals, your dreams. So when you're not following that, you don't want to be here. And I had those periods in my life where I just felt very sad and I did not really want to be here. And I had such big hopes and such big dreams, but I wasn't taking any action. At the time, I was like, okay, I'm going to focus on my inner work so I can make my thoughts more positive. I can feel like I'm in a better place. And then it caught up with me and I realized that I had to do the outer work too. I had to apply for those jobs. I had to put myself out there. I had to promote myself. I had to get out of my comfort zone physically. I had to sign up for that course. And I had to change all these things because the inner work is not enough. We are physical beings living in a physical world. We're spiritual beings. We have a vessel. We have a physical body that has to be in this world, so we have to take care of it, which means that you have to bring it to places and engage it and move it around and take care of it. So your outer work is very, very, very important. I am going through a really wonderful period in my life where I feel like I'm transforming more into the woman I've always wanted to be. But every day I have to wake up making that decision and deciding I am that woman. And there are moments where I have thoughts, I'm not that person. I'm still that shy, introverted person. That's a part and an aspect of me, but mostly that's a part of me. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's also a part of me. I'm like, if it doesn't further my goals, it has to be set aside. So I'm like, if I have to not be shy, if I have to promote myself and talk about what I do and I love and put myself out there in order for things to move, then I'm going to do whatever I need to do because I'm not going back to what I used to be and experience, which is someone who had a lot of hopes and dreams but was doing nothing to achieve them. Participate and partake in your life. Take it one step at a time. Understand that you are transforming. Every day when you decide and you're putting forth the work inwardly and outwardly to move forth and change yourself, you will be able to grow. Surround yourself with the things, the energies, the people, the role models, the books, the podcasts, the videos of that energy of what you're wanting to become. And eventually one day you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, wow, I've become it. I looked at a video from me 7 years ago. I might share a clip of it where I was talking about a lot of, I knew myself so well, but I was also at that time pretty unhappy. I wasn't really taking the steps that I needed to do to grow my life. And so I was in and out of these emotional states. Cut my hair off. I was going through all of that. But the reason why you're going through all of that is because something is trying to wake you up. And that's what I feel like my purpose is, to help people to wake up to that fire, that power within them. You have the control, you have the power, the capability to do what you have to do. But let's be honest, if you're not doing the inner work and being very honest with yourself, having those conversations, watch these videos, right? They're all about having those conversations with yourself about what is the truth. The truth is you've probably been neglecting parts of yourself. You don't just wake up and your life is just bad and, oh my gosh, the universe has just given me a doomed life. No, it never happens like that. This life is so beautiful. We have free will to change things should we decide we're willing to transform. All these years I've been doing the inner work and preparing myself. I always take the time to be not patient, but be slow with making sure I've solidified and I've embodied the experience before I fully put it out there. And the reason why I do that is because I don't want to fake it. I know they always say fake it till you make it, which is true. There's some truth to that. But I always want to make sure I've solidified it to myself first before I share it with the world. I want to be sure that I've solidified who I am first with myself before I've solidified it out there into the world. There are a lot of people out there, they go on social media and they say, look at this great life I live. Look at how amazing of a person which is perfectly fine. Promote yourself, put yourself out there. But behind the scenes, they're really struggling with the basics because they have not done the inner work. They haven't asked themselves those honest conversations. I did not play around all these years. Inner work I'm very powerful at because I don't play. I don't take shortcuts with my life. Hey, this is what you need to do. But then I had to be honest about my actions. Am I taking enough action to move forward? Some people are really good at taking action, but their experiences, their jobs, their connections all fall apart because they haven't done the inner work. So if you're a powerful manifestor, you're able to bring in a lot of things really quickly, really easily into your life, but they fall apart, it's because you haven't done your inner work. Inner work solidifies everything. Everything stabilizes. That's why I think I've always been very good at stabilizing my jobs, my careers, my experiences. Sometimes things go up and down, but for the most part, my life is consistent. I'm very consistent, and that's what I want to help to bring, especially to those creative, intuitive entrepreneurs who have all these beautiful, brilliant ideas, but don't know how to stabilize their life. Thank you guys so much for watching the series. The battery is about to run out. Thank you for watching the Heal, Feel, and Reveal series. Make sure you go ahead and check out my other videos, like, subscribe, comment down below, support the channel if you want to. I would love it if you guys checked out my products in my art shop, prints, photography, and drawings and paintings. And so if you're interested in seeing that, please go ahead and do that. I have an Instagram. Go ahead and follow that if you're interested in doing that. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or evening and enjoy your transformation. Understand it takes time, but also understand it's happening already. If you're watching this video, if you decided and you're waking up and you're willing to decide every day when you wake up that this is who you want to be, this is who you're going to be, it's happening. One day you're going to wake up and you're not going to, not that you're not going to recognize yourself, but you're going to realize that you are already it. She's already in there. You got to feed her. Okay. Thank you guys. Bye.
Not everybody wants to be free and have all that independentness, but I do, because I feel like it's so important to establish yourself before you try to establish a relationship. Because when you go into a relationship, if you haven't dealt with all these unconscious behaviors and patterns of thinking and doing things, you might end up acting out into your relationship, which we can call rifts. And you know, because people will be like, oh, I thought you were this way, but you're acting this way. So I'm really confused. Because in relationships, the thing is, you evolve. You're constantly evolving through life. You're always evolving through life. There's no static stasis in life. You're constantly growing. There's something in you that's growing. It's maturing over time. There's something in you that stays the same. There's also something in you that's always growing and evolving. And like new ideas. We're constantly fluctuating beings. Not only are we fluctuating emotionally, we're fluctuating mentally. The way we do things, our routines, they change all the time. No day is ever the same.